Guys, it's not arrogant to set big goals, to think big. It's courageous. No matter what you're going through, you keep your dignity. Hi, I'm Coach White. Welcome back to How to Have a Major Comeback in Life. Today we're going to cover part 2. Let's take a second, though, to step back to part 1. Let me review for you very quickly what we covered. 5 points. First, know who you are. Second, clean up your life. Third is restore your confidence. Fourth is lose all regrets. And the fifth was raise your standards. All very important. If you haven't watched part 1, please go and watch that and then come back to this one. So part 2 today, remember what we talked about. A comeback is a return to well-being from a setback, which can be anything from a valley period, which you've heard about, to the pit. And there's probably a difference. People talk about, well, I'm going through a valley period in my life right now, but there's sometimes a difference between a little dip and the pit. We'll talk more about that. First, I want to take a look at a quote. Take a look at your screen, and let's take a look at this together. There is no mistake too large, no pain too unbearable, no story that's too bad that God cannot turn it into a huge comeback. He specializes in comebacks, start-overs, do-overs, and new beginnings. And by the way, God does some of his greatest miracles leading people out of filthy, stinking sewers. So no matter where you've been or where you are right now, man, God can do a miraculous work in you and turn your life around in a huge way. Now let's look at one of my favorite verses. Isaiah 61:7. Instead of your shame, there shall be a double portion. Instead of dishonor, you will rejoice in your lot. In your land you shall possess a double portion, and you shall have everlasting joy. It's Isaiah 61:7. That's a fantastic verse. Now listen, the comeback cycle goes from a profound setback to a rebound to a level that you've never been to before. As we've talked about, it's one thing to work hard and get back to where you were before your setback. We don't want that. That's boring. We want to restore ourselves and then grow exponentially higher than we were before. That's the goal. And that's what I want to encourage you to think about as we work through this material. Okay, here we go. Part 2. We're going to look at 5 more points. The first one is getting a forward focus and building your momentum. Second is building an advisory team around you. Third is thinking big and setting huge goals, what I call moonshot goals. And number 9 is getting in the best shape of your life. And number 10 is do it now. Don't wait. Now. So that's what we're going to cover today. Okay, so here we go. Point number 6 on having a major comeback in life. It's getting a forward focus and a clear mission. Momentum is really key. It is what we call positive energy. If you don't have momentum, a comeback's going to be very difficult. So we got to get the mo going. You can start with small accomplishments, small steps, and that will help you build that momentum. You don't have to have huge accomplishments immediately, but start small and you'll feel better, and you'll be able to take bigger and bigger steps. But a forward focus and the momentum will build, that positive energy will build, but you got to have momentum. I want you to redefine your mission in life. If you're going through a tough time, it could be that your entire world is turned upside down and your life will never be the same. I'm there with you. I understand that. I've been there. But you're going to have to redefine your mission and get it into your focus. Okay, let's take a look at Proverbs 4:25. Let your eyes look directly before you and your gaze be straightforward. Proverbs 4:25. That's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, let's go to number 7. Build an advisory and support team around you. These have got to be the right people. Don't surround yourself with people unless they're lifting you up and encouraging you. You don't want people around you that are telling you to be more realistic or, don't rock the boat, that kind of thing. That's not the kind of group you want to hang around. Surround yourself with people who will lift you higher. Choose the wisest people you can find, the most determined people, optimistic people, and surround yourself with those kind of people. And it may turn out that you have 4 or 5 at the most, but that's fantastic. You don't need 10 or 20. Hire an awesome coach like me to help you. Join a church, get involved, get in some groups at church. Those kind of things will make a big impact in your life. Let's take a look at Proverbs 24:6 now. Proverbs 24:6, for through wise counsel you will wage your war, and victory lies in an abundance of advisors. Again, pretty straightforward. Number 8, think big, set huge goals. I love point number 8. I'm a big thinker and I've got a lot of goals and really enjoy that. Guys, it's not arrogant to set big goals, to think big. It's courageous. I think many people are fearful of setting goals that others would think are unrealistic. So I want you to do that. We're using about 10% of our full potential. God created in each one of us a magnificent creation that we're not fully, even close to fully utilizing. And so I want to encourage you, if you just, 10% of our potential, make yourself a goal to do whatever it takes to reach at least 50% of your potential, and you'll be way ahead of the pack. Ignore people that want you to be realistic. I just said that. That's not the kind of group you want to hang around. Now, as far as goals, I want to encourage you to set what I call moonshot goals. And it's very simple. You have normal goals, okay? Let's say these are normal goals, and this is a moonshot goal up here. It's, kind of crazy. It's a crazy goal. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You're going to be thinking anyway. You may as well think big, right? Set a moonshot goal way up above a normal goal. And in working towards that moonshot goal, first of all, it's a lot more fun. These are boring. This is fun. Shoot for that moonshot goal, and if you miss, if you don't make that, you're going to end up somewhere way above that realistic goal anyway. So set them high. Make them unrealistic. Okay? By the way, 20 years from now, you're going to have more regrets for what you did not attempt than what you did do. So forget about the past and get after it. The corridor principle is something that I love. What is that? We call it a hallway principle, the corridor principle. When you have a big goal, a moonshot goal, and it's down the end of that hallway, most people, when they can't figure out exactly how they're going to get there, they just quit. Because they can't get their minds wrapped around how in the world they're going to accomplish that, whether it's, losing 50 pounds or building a $100 million company or whatever. They can't see how they're going to do it until they quit. Don't do that. All you've got to do, the corridor, is start down the corridor, and as you start down the corridor, doors will open. You start down the hallway, the corridor, this door opens over here, you go through that door. Then another door opens over here, and the next thing you know, you're way down the hallway, getting close to your goal, and you keep doing that. But you gotta keep moving forward. You gotta take that first step. And that's the hardest. Second's a little easier, and so forth. So I love the corridor principle, but think about it that way. You don't have to know how you're going to reach that goal. You don't have to be able to see all the steps to get there. Just the first one. Start and prayerfully ask God to show you the next step and the next step and the next step, and He will. Okay? I want to show you, let's take a look at this spreadsheet. This is what I use to track my personal goals and projects. This is the 2022 Coach White list of projects and personal goals, things I want to accomplish. Basically, I put it in Excel, broken out by month and target date. And let's take a look at this. Okay, you see where I have broken it out by project, by target date, by cost, by who needs to be involved to help me accomplish it, and things like that. So you can create this in Excel. And let me tell you what, you can get really detailed with it. Print it out once a week or every day review it. I would probably recommend every day actually. But depends how long term some of these goals are and how big they are, but review it at least once a week. Okay, so I think that would be a good tool if you don't have a way to track, your projects and personal goals. Let's take a look at Jeremiah 33:3. This, I think, may be my favorite verse, okay? Jeremiah 33:3. God says, call unto me. Okay, let's just stop right there. Call unto me. What does that mean? Talk to me. Pray. I'm sitting right here. I'm listening. Call unto me. Then it goes on to say, and I will answer you. And I will show you great and mighty things that you don't know. Let me tell you something. I don't know about you. I want a great and mighty life. I don't want a mediocre, normal, tiptoe through life so I can arrive safely at death. That's not how I'm built. That's not how God made me. Call unto me and I will answer you, and I will show you great and mighty things that you don't know. That's what we want throughout our entire life. We want great and mighty. Everything. Great and mighty. Okay? All right. I love that. Let's take a look at the number 9. Get in the best shape of your life. I love this one too. It's a passion. Health and fitness are critical to your comeback. Well, you're thinking, why? Well, it's very simple. You're going to be working extra hard, do it probably longer hours for a while. Whatever you're doing to make your comeback, it's going to require more energy, more focus, and just overall health, or it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, and quite frankly, we're supposed to take care of these temples anyway. So, get in the best shape of your life. Health and fitness, join a gym. Set up a calendar and start tracking everything you do every day. Well, I walked a half a mile today. Write it down. Because then as you go back and you take inventory of what you've done, it gives you a great feeling of accomplishment and you get more and more excited. And it builds. The 70-30 principle, okay? What is that? Very simple. Let's say that you have a goal to get to a certain weight and a certain body fat percentage, or BMI, body mass index, and you have these targets. The 70-30 principle means that 70% of your overall health and fitness is tied to what you put in your mouth. 70% is what you eat and drink and smoke and, whatever, pills, okay? What's going in your mouth? 70%, that impacts your health and fitness, 70% right there. Huge. 30% is your workout, your exercise. You're getting up out of the chair, you're keeping your metabolism up, okay? That's only 30, and a lot of people don't get it. How many times am I in the gym and there are people all around me huffing and puffing on the treadmill, soaked in sweat, and they're 150 pounds overweight, and they can't figure it out. They're killing themselves in the gym, and they don't know why they're not getting to where they want to be. As they go back, and they load up on pasta and bread, and by the way, next time you see your doctor, get your food allergy test, because a lot of people walk around with a bloated stomach, not fat, bloated. You can feel it, and they don't understand why. It's probably a food allergy involved. By the way, I want to highly recommend, here's a life and health hack. Apple cider vinegar. Buy it. It's organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, ACV, we call it. And take 2 tablespoons every morning and 1 cup of water. You can add a little honey too, because if you're bothered by it's not the greatest flavor, but it's not that bad. But ACV, apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons every morning and a cup of water, maybe a little bit of honey in there too. Shake it up, drink it, and if you have any bloating, it'll be gone in a week. Plus, it's got benefits for arthritis and all kinds of other stuff. It's just awesome. So I've been on it for a while. If you're overweight and you're really frustrated and you can't figure it out, there's help, and I want to help you with that. But let me tell you something. I just want to be frank with you. If you're carrying too much weight, you got issues of being pre-diabetic. You're going to have all kinds of issues. The longer you carry too much weight on this, frame, then you're going to have problems. The older you get, with that weight still there, it's going to be tough. You're going to have all kinds of issues, and you don't want medical issues. You don't want to be taking pills all the time. So, anyway, so that's a really, really important part of your comeback, is get in the best shape of your life, get some help, get some encouragers, that are going to go work out with you. Let's take a look at 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So, glorify God in your body. Again, you can't misunderstand that. It's pretty straightforward. These are not our bodies. These are temples of the Holy Spirit. And you know what? If you wreck the temple, you're going to pay a dear price. If you've had a life where you haven't taken good care of yourself, it's never too late. I want to encourage you, just start. Your health, can do a complete turnaround your entire life. You will feel better, you'll sleep better, you'll think clearer, you'll be happier. I promise you that is a huge thing. But remember that 70-30 rule. It's so much about what goes into our bodies. And check the food allergy issue too, because that is a big one. Point number 10 is do it now. This is anti-procrastination. And we're all prone to procrastinate on some things we know we need to do now. So I want to encourage you, all the things we've talked about, 1 through 9, all these things, do them now. You have to set some deadlines for yourself for leaving the valley or the pit, but you have to leave. You have to get out, okay? God does not intend for you to sit down there and wallow in your sorrow and feel sorry for you, and have other people feeling sorry for you. It's over, okay? Make a decision that it's over and get out of the pit, okay? Remember, 80% of success in anything you do is just showing up. It's like that first step in the corridor principle. It's the hardest one. Show up. Get up in the morning early. Get the bed made quickly. Set the stage for a successful day. But no procrastinating, no fear. You know what? You know what fear stands for. False evidence appearing real. And where is fear from? It's not from our loving God. It's straight from the pit of hell. Okay? So start recognizing whenever you're afraid of something, immediately recognize where it's from. It's not from God. Okay? Let's get rid of laziness. And you can ask some people to help you with your do it now motto and lifestyle. Tackle it right now. Okay, let's take a look at Proverbs 12:24. Proverbs 12:24 says, work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and become a slave. That's about right. All right, let's talk about some examples of great comebacks. Okay, let me start with Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. I'm not sure if you understand what he went through years and years ago in New York. He had a negative net worth of $2 billion. You know, that's a big hurdle, and he went from a negative net worth of $2 billion, and all the bankers trying to shut him down, out of sheer determination and a positive attitude and setting goals, big goals. He's one of the biggest thinkers I know. He, bounced back, became president, and that's the rest. The rest of the story. Second example of a huge comeback was Jamie Dimon. He is the CEO of JP Chase. Jamie was fired from Citigroup, almost had a nervous breakdown. Year and a half later, he became president of Bank One. 3 years later, Bank One merged with JP Morgan, and today he is one of the most powerful guys in finance on the planet. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, he was so bad. Steve Jobs, fired from Apple in 1985, became almost suicidal, had to have people around him watching him to make sure he, didn't commit suicide. He renewed his passion, built a computer company called Next, sold that computer company to Apple, who fired him, for $400 million. And the rest of the story, took over. Martha Stewart, her marriage of 26 years imploded, personal life fell apart. She got sent to prison for financial crimes, got out, rebuilt, worth about $400 million today. And last example, Kevin White. Husband, father, baseball coach, softball coach, church leader, owner of multiple businesses, multimillionaire. 2015, lost it all of it. Walking, talking is an example of how God can do a miraculous comeback. I didn't just go into a valley. I went into a valley, and in that valley, I fell in a pit in the valley. Everything gone. But no matter how deep your pit or valley goes, keep your eyes on God, because He loves you. And that experience, I promise you, because I've been there, that experience He is going to use. He is molding you to do something great. And He does nothing random. We don't serve a random God. So it's a tough time, but I want to encourage you, it's not random. There's a reason, and it's going to be a huge blessing for you. Last thing I want to tell you is this, that nobody can take your dignity. You have to give your dignity away, and don't you do it. No matter what you're going through, you keep your dignity. And nobody can take your comeback away either. You're the only one that can stop your comeback. Make it a big one. I love you. Talk to you soon.